ओ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। We'll chant the Hanuman Chalisa. Okay. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raj Nij Man Mukur Sudhari Barnau Raghuvar Bimal Jasu Jodayak Falachari Buddhihin Danu Janike Sumirau Pavan Kumar बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस बेकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन हाथ वज्रा ध्वजा बिराजे। कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन। तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया। राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बधाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम्हरो जस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिगपालक जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना राम मिलाए राजपद दीना। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आप तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै। अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय मह डेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हरिओम। So we were seeing this beautiful text, which is, or beautiful song actually, or beautiful praise of Hanumanji offered by another devotee of Ramji, who is Tulsidas ji, right? And here when we see what is it that that strikes us most is the various names that that describe Hanumanji, that describe his glory. So what are these names? What are the names of Hanumanji? That we will, slowly as we go through these 40 verses, we will come to know. So already we saw one. What is that? We saw one name, which is Pavana Kumara, right? In the first verse itself, in the Mangalacharana itself, this Pavana Kumara has come, right? I hope you all are able to see, right? I didn't do the Dhyana Shlokas. I will just chant the Dhyana Shlokas so that we are not forgetting them, right? Atulita baladhamam hema shailabhadeham danujavana krushanum jnani nama गुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपति प्रियभक्तं वातात्मजं नमामि। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। Yes. So, verses, right? And we started with how in the Mangalacharana itself, Tulsidas ji has paid his obeisance, not just to his guru, but also to Bhagwan, because he says that through Hanumanji itself, Ramji can be attained, right? So here, one of the first names which came first was which one? It was Pavana Kumar, right? And then further he goes on to call him Ramaduta Atulita Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama. This is another glory of our culture, where not only is a person referred to by in our names, in our what is it? Normally, we will glorify through our name. We will have either the lineage we come through, from the paternal side, or we will say that, we belong to a certain clan, or we belong to a particular location, village or so, right? But from earlier times, what is very evident is that our mothers are worshipped to such an. The name of the child is taken in association with the mother. So here also he is Pavana Kumar. Pavana Kumar is what? The son of Pavana Devata, right? And here is what? Anjani Putra. So here he is called Anjani Putra Pavana Sutta Nama. Not only is he Pavana Sutta, he is not only the son of Vayu Devata, but he is also the son of Anjani. So here when we see this Pavana Sutta, what does it mean? It means one who is he's the one who personifies that Vayu Devata. As we said, how is that Vayu Devata? Vayu Devata is also called Matarishva, that which exists between the interspace. And then we also said, and not only is that Vayu all pervading, but that Vayu is also that which is present in the minutest corner or minutest bit of space available, that Vayu fills it, right? So another name for Vayu, what did we say it was? It is Samira. Samir is what? Samyak iryate iti. That which effortlessly blends in any place. That is that Samir. And so is this Hanumanji. How is he? He, he can, where he has to become even Parvatakara, when he has to become, when the need arises, he can become even Parvatakara. Parvatakara, like a mountain, as high as a mountain. And if required, he can also become Masaka Saman. Masaka, like a mosquito, as tiny as a mosquito also he can become. And what does this quality speak of? Or what is this virtue speaking of? It is speaking of being the most humble. It is that of, having that deenata or that ashraya buddhi in the Lord. So for the Lord, one is able to do all possible things. And therefore also, what was the other name? He is Ramaduta. It is not that, he comes with his own agenda, or that he is trying to please Ramji in all ways possible, and therefore he is able to do, he is going and doing whatever possible. No, he has no agenda. He makes himself available for the service of the Lord. So whatever he is telling, whatever he is doing it as an ambassador of Ramji. So at no point is he in any way going to tarnish the glory of Ramji also. So that is that beautiful glory of being a Duta. Duta, like an ambassador. As we said, one who has taken that position of being an ambassador, how is he? That a representative of that country, of that organization, of that culture, and therefore whatever that person does will be to glorify that which that person is representing. So in no way is Hanumanji ever going to become an embarrassment for Ramji, and he is that Ramaduta. And how is he? Atulita Baladhama. His tulna or his comparison, or it cannot be done to anything. His strength, if you see, or his nature, or his knowledge, or his virtues, they are incomparable to anything in this world. And such is his glory as being that Ramaduta. Yet, even though he is that all virtueful, yet how is he? He is but a dasa of Ramji. He is Ramaduta. And then he is also called Anjani Putra. Now when we say Anjani, Anjani is someone who is taintless, completely pure. One who can't be, in any way tarnished or in any way found any kind of fault with. And that is this Anjani. And that is, the glory of her son. Hanumanji is also that of that same Mata only. So just as Anjani is completely pure, so too is this son of hers who is Hanumanji. And so too, as we said, he is also that Pavana Suta. And further when we say what is the next personification, or what is the next glory of this Hanuman? So he is the one who is Mahavir Guna Sagar Jai Kapisa Tihu Loka Ujagar. Right? How is this Hanumanji? He is the one who is Jnana Guna Sagar, and we said, he is the one who is who has the he is Vyakarana Pandit. He has the highest glory in terms of Sanskrit. He has the highest glory in terms of even all possible knowledge fields. And he is the one whose name is popular in all three worlds, and so therefore everyone knows him and sings his glories also as such, right? Though he is a Kapisa, he is a monkey, right? He comes from the monkey kingdom, which was there in Kishkinda, but yet how was he? He was much more a Pandit, much more a scholar, much more a Vidyadhari, plus he had so many other virtues also, which we will come to know later, right? So what is the importance of having Jnana and Guna? This Jnana is the highest knowledge which is being spoken of, and the expression of that is such a person who is endowed with this knowledge cannot be without virtues, and therefore he is Guna Sagar also. He is the ocean of all possible virtues, and therefore he is called Jnana Guna Sagar. So a person who is not just scholarly, but has so much more depth to him because of the virtues that he embodies, right? So such is Hanumanji's glory, right? And then further as we go, he says Mahavira Bikram Bajrangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. So what is that next verse? Mahavira Vikrama Bajrangi Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. And then next two verses we will do later on. We will first elaborate on who is this Mahavir, and why is he called Vikrama Bajrangi, and how is he Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. What does that exactly mean? That we will see now, right? So an indicator of Hanuman is called Mahavir. So what is this Mahavir? So one who has five different virtues or strengths or viratas. What are these viratas? These are the five different strengths. Strengths as in, when we say strength, what does it mean? It means that which is that which is empowering us, right? Strength is that which is empowering us. Now when we look at these five strengths or viratas, and we will actually somewhere we will be, is this really a strength? Doesn't strength mean something which is which is looked up at? So and mostly don't we associate the word virata with valor in terms of strength, in terms of balam, in terms of physical strength. So what instead, what are these 5 actually talking of? So when we see the 5, what are they? Tyagavir, Dayavir, Danavir, next is Vidyavir and Ranavir. What are the 5 veers of Mahavir? So first one over there is, first is Tyagavir, second is Dayavir, third is Danavir, then is Vidyavir, and fifth is Ranavir. Okay. I remember when I was learning, we were studying Hanuman Chalisa. So my teacher, Swamiji who taught us, he or rather was explaining to us, he gave us an easier way to remember it. So we would put it down as VRDDT. So V is Vidyavir, R is for Ranavir, D is for Dayavir, again D is for Danavir, and fifth one T is for Tyagavir. V R D D T. Okay, I remember it that way, therefore I am just sharing that with you. Okay, so here when we say Tyagavir, so how is this Hanumanji a Tyagvir, and what does Tyagvir mean actually over here? So he is the one who is looking, he's the one looking at whom one may wonder, can someone actually go to such an extent of sacrifice in one's life? Such a person is a Tyagvir. For instance, what? For instance, if we look at the life of the people or those persons, those Veeras who are protecting us on the borders, our armed forces, or those who have joined the military, or those who have joined the security forces of a country, what have they done? They have dedicated themselves to a particular cause, to a particular goal, for which they are willing to go to the extent of giving up their lives, right? And one can't think, we really can't think in any other profession that one can commit to that profession with the thought of meeting their death at some time, right? So going to that, what is it? They know for certain that their goal is fixed, their cause is fixed, and for that they are willing to give up their lives even, right? And their families also know it, and they are proud about them, right? So no matter what the situation, then their commitment is towards the country and what lies in the benefit of the country, right? So such are the Tyagavirs, right? So here when we say that Veerata, what does that Veerata means? That Veerata actually means something that astounds us. Veerata means that which will surprise us. Here in these 5 Veers when we are talking of, it is not just strength, it is that quality which will kind of surprise us, astound us, right? That, oh, even such a thing is possible in this world, one can become so selfless in this world. Oh, that is this Veerata. So one we saw is Tyagavir, then is Dayavir. Dayavir, one who astounds just through the not through strength, physical strength, or in a terrifying way, but in a very soft way. That is through this Daya. Daya is compassion. Now this Daya is not something that is cultivated. This Daya is not something which is developed. It comes as an expression of that knowledge of oneself, or of that knowledge of oneness. Through that alone, through that spiritual oneness, one is able to see that compassion or own up that compassion for all beings. And this is what is called as that Dayavir. So in Vedanta or in the spirituality, at the heart or core of spirituality is what? Is this compassion, which is an expression of the knowledge itself, right? That knowledge, which knowledge? Knowledge of that self. So through that comes the vision of oneness, and from that vision of oneness comes that sense of giving to all, right? So giving as in over here, it is, that compassion which comes is through that sense of oneness. So in spirituality, it is the natural expression of that knowledge which comes as Daya. So how do we see it? If we see a mother nurturing her child, she will never see the faults of that child. Despite the faults of the child, that mother will always nurture that child, right? That Daya, that compassion which is there, is never coming out of a sense of separateness. It is coming out as an expression of this being mine, this being me itself, right? So the parents, one can't just say mother, but parents as such have that unconditional love for their child and are able to give, or are able to compassionately forgive also whatever mistakes that they see in the child, right? So too, if we see, the Mahatmas who have embraced this oneness through their knowledge, through their sadhana, when they have come to that understanding of that universal oneness, then what comes about? It is as though these values which are there, present in those Mahatmas Acharan, they are but an expression of that Brahman only. So that expression of that Brahma Vidya, which is one's own nature itself, that in the Vyavahara, in the transactional world, comes about as those values. So what are these values? So for instance, if we say Swachhata or Shuchi, cleanliness, that if one who is practicing that value or virtue of Swachhata, how is that person going to take it to the dot? To the dot when Swachhata at all levels, which will lead to purity itself. This is going to be, that which will lead that sadhak towards that ultimate goal. Okay. So too, if you take the value of Satyam, one who is practicing that, one who is seeing that there is nothing but the truth only, which is which is evident in everything, and that truth is my own nature, such will be that person's ultimate gain. By what? By practicing that value of Satyam. So here, what is it that is being told? That basically when we are saying Daya or that compassion becomes one's nature itself. Which itself, as a result of what? As a result of owning up one's own true nature as that oneness. So that is that. Then further, if we see Danavir, one who is able to give, you might say, in charity, give with that feeling of gratitude. That is more something that this dana comes with. It is not something one gives to gain some kind of glory, but it comes as an expression of one's gratitude for having received everything possible. So for Hanumanji, it is what? For how do we call him a Danaveer over here? What has he given? If we try to understand that, he has given up all credit or all praise, all kirti which he received, all the glories that he received, he has offered them at the feet of Lord Rama. So how is it? Rama kaja karibeku atu. Whatever he is doing in the name of Ramji only. Right? So Hanumanji is that. Not just that, he has surrendered all of his glories alone, but he has surrendered himself alone to the Lord, at the feet of the Lord. So therefore he is that ultimate Dani. He is that one who has no agenda, doesn't want to achieve anything or gain anything more. Whatever is coming his way, he is accepting it as prasad of Ramji only. Right? So he is that Danaveer. And fourth one is what? Vidyaveer. Vidyaveer, when we say, one who is very learned. So he is not just a Nava Vyakarana Pandit, but he expresses his knowledge also in such a way. In what way? So we had seen that shloka. What is that? Deha buddhi tu dasoham, jiva buddhi tvam amshaka, tava amshaka, atma buddhi tavevaham. And if anyone doubts it, that is he saying this just like that? Then he says, iti mem nishchita matihi. This is my conviction. I am not just saying it, for the sake of saying, but what am I saying? I am saying that at the body level, I am your dasa only. O Ramji, this is our connection. So at the body level, how am I? I am your servant alone. At the mind level, what am I? I am just a mere speck. And I am just a part and you are the whole. And at the Atma level, or at my Swarupa level, what am I? We are one only. There is no difference between you and me. And this he says with great conviction. He says, iti me nishchita buddhihi. Then in the fifth one, he says, Ranaveer. Ranaveer is who? Ranaveer is one who is valorous, has great strength in the battlefield. Such that, if you actually see in the Ramayana, the war is very bloody. The war as depicted in the Ramayana is very terrible, they say. And therefore, even Hanumanji, when he was there when the Mahabharata was also on, and he was saying, oh, this war, this you call it war, you should have been there when the war was happening at Lanka. There was so much of shower of weapons happening from both sides. You didn't know what was going to happen at what time, like that, right? So then, and in fact, during that war, at one time, Meghaduta, who's son of Ravana, he was being very terrible. And it was becoming too heavy. And he had this power of, Maya, which he could invoke, such that, everyone kind of came to a standstill, couldn't do anything. And the entire Vanarasena and Sugriva and Jamvanta, everyone came to Ramji and they said, oh God, everyone is down now, what are we going to do? So Ramji, he had this kind of a smile on his face and he said, is Hanuman okay? Is he up? So they said, yes, Hanumanji, of course, he is fine only. And he said, then there is nothing to worry, right? So such is the glory of Hanumanji as Ranaveer. So there is nothing more to say about that. So if we have to understand, where in the Ramayana do we see this Mahavirta of, which aspect of the Mahavir do we see in the Ramayana in Hanuman? So we can see mostly in the Kishkinda Kand and the Sundar Kand, right? So Bhagwan, when we say Tyagavir comes at the end actually. at the end of Ramayana. So where after Uttarakhand, what does Bhagwan do? Bhagwan says he has great love for all the Ayodhya Vasis. And so much so that, despite them saying something or the other and invoking this kind of doubt in Ramji's acharana, right? Yet Bhagwan says, very compassionately, he says, fine, they want to come with me, all the Ayodhya Vasis, and I will take them to Saket Loka. Only one person cannot come. Who is that one person? Hanumanji has to stay back. So they says, my God. And Hanumanji, did he then, get irritated and he says, Arey, pura kaam to maine kiya. I did everything. And who is getting the benefit of all that? I am not getting any benefit only. All these people are going to go and you are keeping me here. No, he didn't say any of this. He didn't raise a doubt. He didn't raise a question. What he said was, fine. What do I have to do? I have to be here. That is the best thing possible. Why? Because in Saket Lok, what will happen? Everyone will be close to Bhagwan only. Right? They will be reveling in the presence of the Lord. So I will not get a chance to listen to his glories. I will not get a chance to chant his name even. Right? So best is what? Stay here. Wherever there is his glory being chanted, Ramji's glory being chanted, there I will be. So what happens? Wherever, anywhere, wherever there is Ramacharitamanasa or wherever the Ramayana path is being done in any language, in any part of this world, then Hanumanji is present there. Right? So he is that Tyagavir. He was willing to forego even going and staying in Saket Lok. Right? And therefore it is said that even now Hanumanji is very much here. He is that Chiranjeevi. Right? Then further when we say Dayavir, right, the compassionate one. So if we see the episode where Ramji had first come to Kishkinda and he was searching for Sita Mata, and Sugriva, of course, Sugrivji, he knew it. He was seated over there in Rishyamukha Parvat, scared and didn't know from where Vali is going to come and attack at him, right? So he was sitting over there and suddenly he saw these two young people dressed like ascetics. They are wandering, and then he said, what if it is Vali in some kind of disguise? I'm not going to go. So he sends Hanumanji over there, and Hanumanji comes and he speaks with them, and then he realizes that this is the best opportunity for Sugriva to get help from Ramji, and it is going to be Ramji alone who can actually help Sugriva in the situation that he is. So what does he do? He tells Ramji, there is this Vanara Raja. Who is that? So he is this Sugriva, and he has so much of devotion and dedication to you. So I want to take you to him, and he can help you and you can also help him. So, okay. But actually it is a white lie which Hanumanji had told, because neither was Sugriva the king, because right then what was he? He had fled from his kingdom, and who was sitting on the throne? It was Vali who was sitting on the throne. And furthermore, did he have any kind of devotion to Ramji? He had not even met Ramji. He was in fact more scared of Ramji, right? But in the Hita, where one saw that this meeting of the two is going to benefit Sugriva, he had that kind of compassion towards Sugriva. Who had that kind of compassion? Hanumanji had, and therefore what did he do? He said, let me take Ramji to meet Sugriva. And what does he do? He keeps Hanumanji carries on one shoulder Ramji, and on the other Lakshmana, and he carries them to Rishyamukha Parvata. This that visual or that picture is very, it is present mostly even on some calendars, etc. You will see them right on some posters also. On either shoulder, both the brothers are sitting and Hanumanji is carrying them. Right? So Hanumanji is such, who he didn't even know either Ramji and Lakshmana, but after seeing them, after meeting them, he knew that this way, this is the best chance for Sugriva's transformation, and therefore he took it. So despite not himself getting any kind of benefit from it, what did he do? He helped another, right? And that is what is called as daya. So where one is able to sacrifice, or one is able to see the goodness of another and place that before oneself, right? So that is that Dayavir. And then further we saw, right, we already saw the examples of Danavir, we saw Vidyavir also, right? Vidyavir, he is the one who is, he had gone to study with the Surya Devata itself, right? And his jnana was definitely beyond beyond any of us on this earth also, right? So he is Vidyavir also, and then to Ranavir and Tyagvir also, right? So further, what is the other name? He says, next one I will chant. Vikrama Bajarangi. Vikrama, what does Vikrama mean? Vikrama is what? Krama over there means that which is sequential, step by step, right? Krama. Vikrama means what? One who doesn't just launch into action, but takes action after having taken, after having thought well into what is to be done. Taking an overview, then launching into action. That is Vikrama. Okay. So how was Hanumanji that way? How do we say that Hanumanji is that Vikrama? So one is Visheshena karma, Vishesha karma, or Vikrama is the quality wherein one thinks before one acts, right? One does what happened before? He didn't take the whole entire army across the ocean and then launched an attack and all. No, first he went and he saw everything, right? First he saw what is the strength also of these Rakshasas, and he went to meet Sita Devi there. What did he do? He took her permission, he had some of the fruits, and then he started uprooting all the trees, etc. in that Ashoka Vatika. And why did he do that? To see how much of the strength these Rakshasas have. Can we outwit them or no? So he was not going to do things just at random. He was going to have a very calculated kind of a way of operating. So he is Vikrama. So it is also used, you can say in terms of when we are building something. If we are building a house also, or if we are building a building also, or if we are building a street also, how will it be? We can't just randomly say that, oh, window should come this way, or the door should come that side, or this room should come here. No, you will have a planned approach, right? Depending also, and that is how even our Vastu at Shastra is also. Which side is the wind coming from? Which side is the sunrise, sunset, right? East, west, north, right? All these keeping in sync with the directions, right? Everything is planned in a proper way, so that the sunlight is it is coming clearly in the living room and not hitting you in the bedroom, right? So all this how is it done? It is done a planned way, so that the end result is most beneficial for whoever is going to, be part of that plan, right? So here also, what does it mean? Vikrama is also that. Hanumanji is who? Hanumanji is one who thought, planned and then acted, right? Then further next name is Bajarangi. Bajarangi, one who is holding that Vajra, right? And not just that, even to hold that Vajra you have to have that much more physical strength also, right? You can't be a lecha pita, not a very, not someone who doesn't have that physique to hold on to that Vajra. So he is Bajarangi. Then Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. Kumati is that which is erroneous thoughts, wrong notions that we entertain. So one who, remove, what does it mean? Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. The remover of all kinds of erroneous thoughts. How can one remove the erroneous thinking or wrong thoughts? Through Sumati, through satsanga with good thoughts. Kumati Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi. So here, how does one do it? Through satsang alone, one can remove all kinds of wrong notions that we have, right? So if we see this Kumati, there are three meanings, okay? One is Kumati in terms of what are the kind of erroneous thoughts that we entertain for ourselves. One is in terms of lack of enthusiasm. We want to start something, but then we say, oh, but will it even start? Do I even, is it worth it to even start, right? So not having that kind of enthusiasm to venture into something, right? And then next one is also what? Next one is self-doubt. Second meaning of Kumati, second type of Kumati or erroneous notion is having this self-doubt. Can I do it? Am I even capable? Am I eligible? Am I in the right place? So most times we fight with ourselves in this way. That the world is throwing that doubt to us, we ourselves bring that doubt in. So that self-doubt, it says, am I meant to be here? Can I really do it? Right? Then further is third Kumati is this mind, when it gets caught up with certain thought or idea in a negative way. What happens? It keeps spiraling down. And we are not able to get out of it. How is it? One will keep thinking like a broken record. It will keep going down and down and on. It will keep repeating that. And till you come out and you say that stop, I don't want this. And if you are able to get out of that mode, will you be able to come out of that spiral, right? So that is the third type of Kumati. Now if we see in the Kishkinda Kand, what happened was, there was this episode where now Ramji has given back the kingdom to Sugriva, and now it's time, now we have to go and look for Sita. Enough of wasting time. So he makes teams of the Vandras, of those who are available to him, and he says, okay, one go in this direction, one go in that direction, and he makes one southern team. One set of people he assigns to go in the southern direction. And who are these? They are the best. In that, who is there? There is Nala, Nila, Angada, and there is also, who else is there? There is also Jamanda, and then further, of course, Hanumanji is there in that team. And they are all proceeding, and initially all of them, they keep going up and down, and then whoever they meet, be they plants, be it animals, be it santas, whoever they meet, they will keep asking, did you see Sita Devi? And clearly Ramji had given them one task. He had said that here is my ring. He gives it to Hanumanji and he says, here is that ring. You have to give it to Sita Devi. You have to convey to her that, you have to check with her, are you okay or no, right? You have to convince her that I am coming there. I am on the way, I'll be coming there. And you have to also convince her of my, of the strength, of the confidence that I have that I will be able to, come and rescue her. He will come to rescue her. And also you have to tell her that, of course, I am missing her, right? Now, to do that, first you have to reach there, meet this Sita Devi. And so they are going around, and the initial enthusiasm which was there, after some time it fell down. It kept coming down because no one was finding anything, no one knew where she was, etc. And then, slowly Hanumanji saw that this is not working. And then he saw this mountain, one hillock, and from there he saw that certain water birds are coming out of this rock, coming out of this cave. And he said, come on, let's go up. There is water over there, we can go there, refresh ourselves, and then, maybe we'll come down. So he keeps going, and so do the monkeys, and inside he sees, inside the cave, there is one tapaswini sitting over there. Her name is Swayam Prabha. So she welcomes them and she says, oh, you all look very tired. Why don't you all have some water? Why don't you all rest for some time? And she asked them what is it that they're doing? What are they up to? And then, they realize that she realizes that they had set about on a task, and now they are completely, their enthusiasm, their inspiration is going down. So she tells them that, the one you are searching for, she is very Shanti Swarupa, So first what you should do, first in order to connect with her, what should you do? Sit down. Instead of hopping around here and there, sit down quietly, turn inwards and ask yourself to connect with her and listen to where she is. She will herself guide you, right? And then, then it is here that their spirits are back again, right? Having refreshed themselves, now what is going to happen? Now they are, from that high point, they are able to see the ocean front, and from there further. So when we look at this, what does it mean? So when we have obstacles in our path, we are starting something, and initially what will happen? There will be this, can we really go ahead or no? That the initial enthusiasm with which we start, what will happen? Slowly it will dwindle when things are not progressing. What should one do then? One should try and get a higher perspective, climbing up onto that hill, right? What happened? Climbing onto that high hill was to seek that satsanga. Kumati nivara sumati ke sangi, right? That satsanga of not just a fresh environment, but where you had, a darshan of that tapas and gave a different perspective, saying that, oh, you have started on a task, now you can't come out of it, you know what you have to do. So there is no backtracking on that, you have to move forward. But only what you need to do, you have to reconnect with your goal. If you are thinking, am I in the right place or no? Yes. Question yourself, where did you start from and what was your destination? Are you still in line with that? If you are not, realign yourself, right? And therefore she tells them, sit quietly, connect with that Shanti Swarupini Sita Mata within. How? Through satsang, through that sumati. So how sumati come about? Only when you get rid of that which is pulling you back. right? So only when we have a higher perspective can we move towards the goal that we are talking of, right? And this comes about, this self-doubt that we talk about, right, in the second one. It comes about at any situation also, when we have to speak publicly, say for instance. Am I really able to do, can I do it or no, right? So somewhere in our past, some experience had pulled us down, and right now in the present, that is pulling us more down. What should we do then? We should just keep in mind why we are doing what we are doing. Is the past really required? No. The past is not something which can hold me back. It is already gone. What is with me is the present, and that is my gift, and I can definitely go ahead, right? So when one has the higher cause in mind, my destination or my goal is set, then with that conviction, whatever doubts are there, they can be set aside, right? And this can come about when we have satsanga. Then third one is what? That spiraling, that thought of, that one thought which is pulling us down over and over and over again, like that, stuck record, right? What should we do? When we should just remind ourselves, right? Like when Sita ji was there in the Ashoka Vatika, what was happening? This other Rakshasi, this Trijata, what was she telling? She was going on telling, yeah, I don't think Ramji can come here. You think, you believe, you don't know what is the power of Ravana, and you are thinking your husband, this Rama, is going to come, that puny little guy. You don't know Ravana has 10 heads. Not just that, he himself is enough, plus he has such a huge army. You think it is going to work, right? So there Sita ji was almost to that, low thought, where she was losing hope itself. That is when Hanuman ji came, and the mere sight of that ring with Rama written on it, that was sufficient for her to know, nothing to worry, Ramji is definitely going to come here, right? So in order to pull us out of this kind of spiral dwindle, right, what should we do? Empower ourselves with the Ramanama, or empower ourselves with that positive thought. One positive thought can break that spiral which is pulling us down. So all we have to do is what? Keep that positive conviction within ourselves. Make that our Atma Bala, and in any such situations, pull ourselves out of it, right? So even not just in the Ramayana, right, but so too in the Bhagavad Gita we see, right? Arjuna was at his lowest, and he didn't know. He said that I don't know what is dharma and adharma also. I don't know whether it is right to fight or not fight. Either way, I am totally confused. So much so that the Gandhi was falling from my hand. What should I do, Bhagwan? You are the one, you can show me, right? So this kind of a depression that someone might go into, what will pull one out of it is, for which one connection is sufficient. What is that? Chanting the name of the Lord. Kumati nivara sumati ke sangi. So that is what something which we can definitely remember. And what is important is to have that clear bhavana or clear conviction that my Lord is going to be my only support. I don't need anyone or anything other than that, right? So for that, what should I do? So the next two verses which are there, right? Kanchana varana biraj suvesa, kanana kundala kunchita kesa, हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा बिराजे, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन. So these two verses, right? The fourth one and the fifth one, they are actually describing to us that Hanumanji's whole Varna, right? And so, is it sufficient that we remember the name only? No, with the name, the form also, if it comes, it becomes so meditative. And then when you think of that Bhagwan, how is he? Kanchana Varana. He is golden hued. And then further he says, Biraja Savesa. He's, if you look at his whole form, how is it? It has got like so much of power in it. It has got not just power in the sense, then you will say, oh, is he very terrible like Ravana? No. Here he says Subesa, his entire form, his personality is so endearing. Though he has that strength also, it is a comforting strength. It is not a terrifying strength. Kanchana Bharana Viraja Suvesa Kanana Kundala Kunjita Kesa. Kanana, in his ears are these, beautiful earrings, which adorn his ears, and they add to the beauty of his, glorious form. And how is his hair? Kunchita, curly hair he has, curly locks he has, right? And then Hatha Vajra or Dhwaja Abhiraje. So not only is he, not that it is told Gada, but here what is it? Not that he is holding the mace, but he is holding this Vajra, Hatha Vajra or Dhwaja, and also is the Dhwaja. Dhwaja, that flag which bears the name of Rama. So is it really a flag? He is holding a flag? No, actually on his hand itself is that Dhwaja on which is written Rama. As in what? Whatever he is doing is for that Rama only. And then Dhwaja Abhiraje Kandhe Munj Janeo Saje. And on his shoulders is adorned this beautiful Janeyu, the sacred thread of what? Of this, Munja grass. Janeu Saje. So, if we see this, it actually brings to mind his glorious form. And this fourth and fifth verse is more to describe his form, right? So, we will further see more what is the symbolism of this in the next session. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om.